What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle with JesseW. Today we're going to be discussing the fundamental and technical analysis on SENS. Check it out. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump into this video. Now SENS is something that was brought to my attention by some of my subscribers, and they posted about it in the last couple of videos I had in the comment section. They asked me, hey, would you look into this stock? Now generally I'm not going to just do any random stock. I got to see and make sure that there's some sort of good catalyst behind the stock, either to send it higher or lower. The truth of the matter is, I'm going to bring to you here some fundamental catalysts. I'm going to bring you some fundamental analysis based off of that, and I'm going to bring you a technical analysis based off of the charts themselves. Okay, I have no position in this stock. We're just going to go over here and dive into the information and try to figure out where this thing might go, or what are some good potential plans on it, right? So without any further delay, we're going to jump into SENS here. And now on SENS, what's going on here right now is that on March 4th, 2021, they're going to go ahead and release their Q4 for 2020 earnings report, along with the entire year of 2020 in that report. That's what they're going to be doing on the 4th of March, which is right around the corner. Typically speaking, you will notice that most stocks, when they put out, especially a stock that has some hype behind it, when they put out information stating when they're going to release their earnings, you might see some sort of jump in price, jump in volume, as people try to anticipate it and ride that momentum on upward because of the whole, buy the rumor, sell the news type strategy. And that's something that works. It's been around forever, and you'll see that a lot, especially in every type of stock. It doesn't matter if it's a small cap, low float, or if it's something like Tesla. You'll see them often start to move up higher and higher and higher as they lead into that earnings call, and then they sometimes sell off right after, even if the earnings are good. All right, that's the whole buy the rumor, sell the news. So that might be one part of why you're seeing the price jump. Now, before people get all emotional and start writing crazy stuff in the comment section, you got to know, you got to enter into trades and investments with no emotions. You can't have any emotions attached to this stuff. The market doesn't care about your feelings, right? I know it sucks to hear, but that's the reality of it. So we're going to continue discussing this with nothing but statistics and facts, as well as then a formulated opinion based on that by me. I want you to type your opinions on the stock in the comment section below. Let me know what you think is good or bad about SENS. All right, the next thing that we're gonna see here on the docket is having you smash the like button for me. So remember, you really have to help me out here, right? Because that's gonna help out the channel so I can continue doing these type of videos. You smash the like button, it helps out with the YouTube algorithm, it shows interaction, and it really helps me out a lot. So you guys, if you find value in this type of information, do me a quick favor, smash that like button for me. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell so you're alerted when I upload my next video. Now, Q3 of 2020, we're going to talk about Q3 on SENS from 2020. In Q3, they reported $765,000 in sales. Now, that's a good amount of money. That's over $750,000. All right, so they had some decent sales there, $765,000 in sales. However, their earnings on that decreased by 0.46%, which that in turn translated into $12.47 million in losses in Q3 of 2020. Now, in Q2 of 2020, they also had a similar loss of 12 some odd million dollars. So it's something that has to be known. Now, that's not always necessarily super bad thing when it comes to these type of companies, because these type of companies, they lose a lot of money as they build up their pipeline of either medical products or medicines in them of themselves if they're a biotech. Okay, now the next thing we're going to discuss on SENS is what type of company they are. What is it that they make? We already know that they have earnings coming up on March 3rd. We already know the results on March 4th. We already know the results of their Q3 from 2020, and we discussed a little bit about Q2. We also know what type of field they're in. Now, what is it that they do exactly? Okay, so what we're talking about right now is something that's extremely important. It's something that's really, really important because it deals with the diabetic sector, or patients who have some sort of diabetes, right? So this is a very, very touchy area because a lot of people in the population are diabetic or predisposed to be diabetic. There's a lot of type 2 diabetics out there as well. So this is something that is a very important subject and a very important part of the population that needs attention as far as medical devices, medicine, treatments, etc. So what they're doing is currently in Europe, they have a device that they use in order to read your glucose levels all the time, right? And what they do is they implant this device on you, all right? And then for X amount of days, in this case, 180 days, it gives you really good readings, you know, very, very down to the pinpoint exact range that you're in as far as your glucose throughout the day. And it's really important because this will help you manage and maintain healthier glucose levels versus having huge peaks and huge valleys when you might forget to take your medicine, when you might forget to actually do the finger prick test, stuff like that. Right, so in Europe they have this. It's for people 18 years or older, and it's 180 days that it works for in you, okay, on you, or whatever you want to call it. It's implanted onto you. All right, here in the United States, however, they already have one that's approved here in the US, and it's good for 90 days. And again, it's for, you know, patients, for people 18 years of age and older. So that's the main hype behind this company right now, because that's an important thing that needs to be worked on, all right? And that is something that I like about the company. I like that they're working on that sector, and I like that they're trying to help these, you know, people with these ailments. It's very, very important, all right? So that's important right there, and that is definitely something companies that work in that type of sector, in that type of field, and work with those types of devices and or medicines, they will garner a lot of hype. They will, because it's a big industry, and it's a big problem that needs attention. So that's what they do, all right? So in Europe, they have that 180-day version. They're trying to get that one eventually approved here in the United States, and here in the US, they currently have the 90-day version of that available. As of January 28th, of this year, 2021, they have announced that they have closed off a $115 million offering. All right, $150 million offering that they had, that one has been closed off. That's good. That's a good sign. Now, as long as they don't bust out another offering here pretty soon, which it can go either way, right? We already know on SNDL, these people are offering after offerings, obviously completely different sectors, but kind of the same gist. Small companies trying to make big strides, right? So now you have SENS just closed off an offering on the 28th, but now all of a sudden we're trading up here all-time highs. If they need money, then it might be something that they would want to look into, right? So they close one offering off. Let's see what happens now, right? Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to dive into the charts, because that's going to show us the price action. It's going to show us, you know, a broader picture. So let's go ahead and dive in the charts here. As I do, remember to check out the daytraderchatroom.com, because the daytraderchatroom.com is my place where we hang out, talk about stocks, and have my courses that you have access to, trade alerts, the whole 9 yards. You can check us out for 5 days for $5. Link in the description section and in the comment section below. Also, guys, remember to check out my Patreon. It's brand new. I just started it. But if I can grow that Patreon, my goal is to get to 100 Patreons initially. It's going to allow me more time to do more videos like this, information that I'll put out on the Patreon before it comes out on YouTube. So check that out. Link in the description section and in the comment section. And on SENS, as you can see, this thing has been on an absolute monster tear from 40 some odd cents here. Look at this move, okay? And now here we are, now February 19th, okay, and we're sitting at $4.60 some odd cents. This thing has been on a beast of a move. And if we scroll back, you know, we go to the left, we always want to look at the past chart history. We can see here previous all-time highs, right around this $5 and change area, all right? And we've kind of tested that area. I'm not too sure if it made exactly a brand new high or if it just tested the general area and rejected there. It's hard to tell by the chart itself, but it is the general area. Now, we've pulled back from it. Now, am I going to buy this stock? No, I'm not going to buy this stock. I'm pretty neutral on SENS. I think what they're doing is amazing, and if it works out, great. However, the stock is too high. Had I known about this and studied a little bit more, I maybe would have messed around with it some. The problem for me is I don't really like to invest in these type of small cap companies as an investment, okay? I like to invest in things like Boeing, PLTR, Disney, funds, ETFs, Tesla, AMD. I like to invest in that type of stuff better for the long term. On these, I would see them more of maybe a short-term investment, right? Looking for those types of catalysts that send the stock higher, but I would consider that more of some sort of swing trading for me. So I'm not going to buy this stock here. Now, if I'm not going to buy it here, where would it potentially interest me, right? If I were to want to take a long position on this stock, it would be 350s to $3 area would be an area that would seem interesting to me, right? Based off of this short-term price action here. If we scroll back some, you can also see, a lot of structure right in here in this $3 to $3.50 range. So I like that it shows there that we could have potentially some support in that zone, and that would be an area that I would kind of be interested in, maybe for like a bounce play, right? Try to catch a bounce play from $3 or $3.50 right back up to the mid fours. It's not bad at all. If I really want to hold on and maybe kind of get a little gambly with a piece of that. I don't really promote that type of stuff unless it's a planned trade, right? If I'm in at $3 and I take some profit off at 4. So if I want to hold on to, like, let's say 10%, 15%, 20%, maybe 30% of the position after I sold for a major profit, I could do that and see if we get some sort of follow through, some sort of approval in the US, some sort of new catalyst to send the stock higher, maybe. But generally speaking, that would be the area I would be looking for, $3.50, $3, see if we can get some bounces off of that. You could see some bouncing off of 4, but me being conservative, I would look for that $3.50 to $3 range. Now, of course, this isn't financial advice. It's just telling you what I would do myself. The safer range is $2 down here at the 50-day moving average area. But, if this stock has all this hype that's coming into it now, it might not dip that low unless there's some bad news or some major profit taking. The volume on this push higher hasn't been the greatest, comparable to the volume here on this push from $1.50 upwards of $3. Okay, that's huge volume. We've kind of drifted higher off of this bull flag formation. Do you see that bull flag formation right there? That's a beautiful bull flag right there on decreasing volume. Gorgeous setup, honestly, from a technical standpoint. And then you have an increase in volume on the breakout side of that flag. So definitely, that's why I'm saying that $3 to $3.50 area where that flag was at and the breakout of that flag is at would be the area I would look for a potential entry or fresh entry or a re-entry on the stock, right? Always managing risk. I would definitely stop out of this if it broke back underneath $2.50 to $2, right? So always managing risk, but that's me. That's how I trade, right? And this would be a trade for me, not an investment. If it were to be an investment and it was something I was going to hold on for years and years, thinking this company is going to do some major breakthroughs, then I frankly don't care where I would get in. I just buy it and hold on to it and add on dips, because that's how I invest. For example, yesterday and today, I added to my PLTR long term. Why? Because PLTR dipped really big off of it released earnings this week and it had the lockout from the IPO, let's say. So I added on the dips to my long positions that I've already had. All right, so that's how I would play it, and that's the information I have for you on SENS. Any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Smash that like button for me, and I'll catch you on the next one.